they call it I'm not a sportsman. This is a technical bench just to consult.
Yeah, for VR.
Now, whether it is a penalty or not. So we were there. It is not. It is. The moment he came back and made that sign, I think Ruben is better at that. There is that sign he made.
Surely,
and
indeed.
Everyone jumped up. Wah! Now it was prayer.
Right.
You know, penalties, even stars can try to hit the skies.
Right. Now, I was following on the conversation on X as well, and there was one interesting tweet or X post from a user called Adam, who put up a post and said, "What a bust from the top of Kololo Hill. We could literally hear the entire Kampala burst into cheers. Congrats at Uganda Cranes." And the comment section, I always love the comment section.
Well, I want to tell you the Cranes did us proud. Remember, at some point, some people thought we had lost it,
yes,
but then they restored hope.
Right.
Now we are out of that group as winners. We wait to see what will continue. But also on the other side, today, traders under Kasita, that is Kampala City Traders Association, now Kasita, Uganda, are planning a demonstration. However, police has warned them not to go ahead with this demonstration, saying police believe there still room for them to discuss and see how best, rather than causing chaos in the city. Later on, we will be speaking to the chairperson of Kasita.
Right. Now, when you say a demonstration, I figure it out as a place where they choose to close their shops and demonstrate in that manner, as opposed to going on the streets. I think it's a choice, their choice to close open shop,
previously
right?
they used to do it that way. But nowadays they have changed. They close shop. Some begin playing football in the road. Others put boxes.
So that's what the police
Some
is
go
referring
after
to.
those that have not closed the shops.
Right.
You know, so it is no longer the other just closing their shops, not coming to work. And you know, we are nearing politics. Some of whom are also aspirants.
Right.
In some positions. Then it is political, so it's no longer the other demonstration that we used to have of traders, where they just stay home and lock their shops. They will be in town, they will try to put something. And remember, at such a point, also politicians then come and jump over too. You find someone saying, I'm going to Chikubo to meet the traders, well knowing that it's going to be chaotic.
Right. Now, that makes a lot of sense. Let's have a look at
remember,
what
police has the role to protect,
right, and preserve,
prevent, detect, and also prevent crime. So if it suspects things are going to be okay, it is within their mandate to prevent that from happening, because they will have detected criminal tendencies or crime to be committed.
Right. What local news are we looking at today?
Well, still issues of cattle compensation going wrong. Now, President Museveni has tasked leaders from the Acholi sub-region to form a committee of trusted people to aid the issue of capital compensation. The committee has up to 1 month to audit paid and yet to be paid beneficiaries. President Museveni was meeting Acholi leaders over cattle compensation, where cases of corruption were reported. It was a meeting to resolve a serious matter of national concern, cattle compensation that has been mismanaged due to corruption and processes have been mishandled. The leaders described the process as harboring thieves. Other leaders were equally puzzled. President Museveni then ordered the committee to be established to oversee the audit process and guide government on the next direction. Acholi leaders, including ministers and members of parliament, welcomed the idea. As of what next, this will be known after 1 month. How far the idea of fronting a flat cattle rate for each household will go, as recently adopted in Teso sub-region, only time will tell. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, Dr. Diana Atwine, called for strict enforcement of road use regulations to curb raising road crashes that claim lives, cause injuries, waste time, and drain finances. She was speaking at the 2nd East African Symposium and Expo on Trauma, Injury, and Emergency Care at Makerere University School of Public Health in Kampala. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, Dr. Diana Atwine, blamed the rise in road clashes, drowning, snake bites, and other preventable accidents on impunity and indiscipline, stressing these can be addressed through consistent enforcement of existing laws. She noted emergency wards are overwhelmed with accident victims, leading to death, disability, and poverty due to high treatment costs. Dr. Atwine called for a multi-sectoral approach in enforcing prevention and strengthening emergency systems. The Commissioner of Emergency Medical Services, Dr. John Baptist, commended the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Works and Transport, and the private sector for mobilizing resources to minimize accidents and injuries. He appreciated Total Energies, Makerere University, and the Ministry of Health for prioritizing trauma, injury, and emergency care, urging more innovations, partnerships, and sensitization to close gaps in service delivery. The symposium attracted local and international experts in emergency medicine, ambulance services, snake bite care, occupational health, injury prevention, transport, safety, and oil and gas medical units. Police have reminded parents and guardians on the safety of minors during holidays over reckless corporal punishments and negligency of children in their hands. The police spokesperson, Rushoke Gitumwa, reiterated the need for parents to safeguard their children from predators, relatives, and nudity in the community. Police have set guidelines for parents to follow as children in lower learning institutions return from school for holiday. They have cautioned parents against neglecting minors, which could expose them to sexual abuse. In increasing exposure to internet nudity and explicit images to minors is also a big concern. Guardians are warned on the existing laws against corporal punishment. With increasing concern on holiday safety, parents' neglect will affect the safety of their children. Meanwhile, police have clamped down on tomorrow's planned protest by Kasita, vying for a peaceful understanding between the two parties. High Court Criminal Division has set 1st September 2025 to start the hearing of the case in which retired Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye, Haj Abedi Rutale, and Captain Ololo Dennis are tried. The trio are facing 2 counts of treason and misprision of treason. The case is before Judge Emmanuel Baguma of High Court Criminal Division in Kampala. The hearing of the case follows Judge Emmanuel Baguma's order to the registrar to immediately set the case for hearing. Last week, Judge Emmanuel Baguma declined to grant Dr. Kizza Besigye, Hajo Bedi Rutale bail on grounds that they have not clocked the mandatory period. Well, with that, we come to the end of our local stories this morning.
Well, thank you, Robert. And getting on to what we have on the global scene, we're starting off from Sweden, a landmark 113-year-old church at risk. And that is from ground subsidence, and it's about to be relocated in its entirety in a 3 miles move along a road in Sweden's far north. The vast red timber structure in Kiruna, dating back to 1912, has been hoisted on giant rolling platforms ahead of the move to the new city center. Traveling at a maximum speed of 500 miles an hour, the journey is expected to take 2 days. The old city center is at risk from ground fissures after more than a century of iron ore mining. The church's move is the most spectacular and symbolic moment of the wider relocation of buildings in Kiruna, which lies 145 kilometers north of the Arctic Circle. In the words of culture strategist Sofia Lagerlof, it's like finally, let's get it done. We've been waiting for so many years. We've done so much preparation, says the man in charge of the move, project manager Stefan Hombad Johansson. It's a historic event, and an event very big and complex at the same time. Complex operation, and we don't have a margin of error, but everything is under control. His composure reflects years of planning. By the mid-2010s, other buildings in Kiruna were already being shifted to safer ground. Most were demolished and rebuilt, but some landmarks were moved intact. Now, moving on, the State Department has revoked more than 6,000 international student visas because of violations of U.S. law and overstays, the department told the BBC. The agency said that the vast majority of the violations were assault, driving under the influence, DUI, and burglary and support for terrorism. The move comes as the Trump administration continues its crackdown on immigration and international students. While the State Department did not specify what they meant by support for terrorism, the Trump administration has targeted some students who have protested in support of Palestine, arguing that they had expressed anti-Semitic behavior. Of the 6,000 student visas that were revoked, the State Department said about 4,000 of those were revoked because visitors broke the law. Another 200 to 300 visas were also revoked for terrorism done under INA 3B, the State Department said, referring to code that defines terrorist activity broadly as acts that endanger human life or violate U.S. laws. Now, taking a look at Africa, the main rebel group in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, the M23, has walked away from peace talks with the government, saying that it will not return unless the authorities adhere to a previous ceasefire deal. Fighting between the two sides escalated in January when the M23 captured large parts of the mineral-rich East, including the regional capital, Goma. In Qatar last month, the rebels and the government signed a ceasefire agreement intended as a step towards a permanent peace deal. But on Monday, as negotiations were set to resume, the M23 said its representatives were not present in Qatar. M23 spokesperson Lawrence Kanyuka told the BBC's Great Lakes service that the Congolese government does not want peace. He accused the authorities of not respecting the provisions contained in the ceasefire deal. But DR Congo's military denies this charge. DR Congo's military denies this charge. Kanyuka alleged that government forces had continued to attack rebel positions despite the agreement stating that both sides must refrain from assaults. However, the Congolese armed forces accused the M23 of launching attacks almost daily in the North Kivu and South Kivu provinces. Well, that brings it to the end of what we have on the global scene. Robert, what we have in the dailies today?
Well, in the dailies, a very big headline there. Constitutional Court seeks equity for men upon separation. Now, court issues new orders on divorce. And of course, a story that can't miss, Uganda Cranes storm quarterfinals. And there's a pictorial there. There's still the new vision this morning. Museveni okays Nachivubo channel plan. And Citizens Manifesto, what should be done to boost food security? The new vision also, how to make smart choices. A pullout is there for you. And 2026 elections, Chagulanyi, Mau pick forms. Now, let me quickly go to the Daily Monitor this morning. Now, in here we have Cranes rise from dust. What is that? Amadina completes hat-trick at Kitante. Still in the Daily Monitor this morning, sleepless in Kisasi. And Sebagala's 207 plan that put Nachivubo in harm's way. What was that plan by the late Nasa Ntege Sebagala? Now also we see tenders there: Uganda Tourism Board, National Media Group, the New Vision, Bank of Uganda, Ministry of Education and Sports, and many more. So if you never know, there could be something you could supply to these. But these and more when you get yourself a copy. However, Julie is taking us through what Tanzania and Kenya have for us in the dailies this morning.
Well, today let's take a look at Kenya, and that is in the Daily Nation. The UDA Raila MPs meeting fallout. That is a headline in the Daily Nation. And in the Daily Nation right there is youngsters who are driving Harambe's Chan campaign. Also there, health matters, health patients stranded abroad after 30-day SHA pay freeze. And what awaits Gachagua on return from US tour. But also, man's search for Chinese father ends in sadness. That is a story, a rather sad story in the Daily Nation. And looking at what we have in the Citizen today, the headline in there is Tanzania's big step in war on financial crime. That is the headline in the Citizen. But we also have there more than 12,000 youth in 4 regions to benefit from ECOP project. And transition advocacy, man's journey from charcoal trader to clean energy ambassador. Also, insurance regulator eyes industry's 3PC GDP contribution, and pedestrian bridges turn into social hotspots in Dar. Interesting. Hangout spaces that come from bridges. That's a beautiful scene, I think. Imagine the Ginger Bridge becoming a social hotspot. I think it's a beautiful thing, although for security purposes, it's also something to be careful about.
Some bridges are not about security. Ginger is unique and Kiruna because they connect.
Yes.
But there are some bridges where they don't have that security threat.
Do we have any of those in Uganda?
In Uganda, they could be in other remote away, because the major ones you have is Ginger and Kiruna, because for them there's a protection element in that. That's why they are heavily guarded.
Right.
But we have those minor bridges. For example, Seziwa. You know Seziwa Bridge?
Seziwa, yes.
Yeah, it's not so much of a security threat because it's crossing something where you can move via with these canoes and cross over. Right. You can't do that on the Nile. You can't do that on Kiruna. But also, the court on divorce. If you read through, you'll see how men every day, what is coming out from court is bringing joy to them. First, there was a ruling that where human rights advocates and some group of women had gone over issues of banning polygamy. Now, court ruled and said no. In Uganda, we cannot ban polygamy. If you want a monogamous marriage, go to church.
Right.
But we cannot rule in Uganda that a man must have one woman. Let's leave that to the men to choose. If you want more than one, please go traditional.
It's your lot to handle.
It is your lot to handle. In Buganda, we say, if you feel you're able, go and hustle it out there, the confusion of having more than one. But if you feel, then it is okay. So this time around, it looked for equity in divorce. Not just to say, because I've been married to you, now we split, we take wealth. No. What have you brought to the table from the time we came together? Right. Let's quantify that and see what you're taking.
Right.
I hope you don't take the cuttings.
Anyways, let's have a short break with some music. Now, the man who's going to give us this music is a man who, it's exactly a year since he was in Uganda. Last year, 17th August, he was in Uganda and gave Ugandans a show where humans danced alongside their chairs on the top of their heads raised and lifted to praise the Lord. His name is Tim Godfrey, together with his collective group Fearless Community. They come through with the song Praise the Lord.
Live. This is Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda.
Lolo Hill We could literally hear the entire Kampala burst into cheers. Congrats at Uganda Cranes. And the comment section, I always love the comment section.
Well, I want to tell you the Cranes did us proud. Remember, at some point, some people thought we had lost it, but then they restored hope.
Right.
Now we are out of that group as winners. We wait to see what will continue. But also on the other side, today, traders under Kasita, that is Kampala City Traders Association, now Kasita, Uganda, are planning a demonstration. However, police has warned them not to go ahead with this demonstration, saying police believe there are still room for them to discuss and see how best, rather than causing chaos in the city. Later on, we will be speaking to the chairperson of Kasita, Uganda.
Now, when you say a demonstration, I figure it out as a place where they choose to close their shops and demonstrate in that manner, as opposed to going on the streets. I think it's a choice, their choice to close open shop,
previously
right?
they used to do it that way, but nowadays they have changed. They close shop. Some begin playing football in the road. Others put boxes.
So that's what the police
Some
is
go
referring
after
to.
those that have not closed the shops.
Right.
You know, so it is no longer the other just closing their shops, not coming to work, and you know we are nearing politics. Some of whom are also aspirants in some positions. Then it is political, so it's no longer the other demonstration that we used to have of traders, where they just stay home and lock their shops. They will be in town, they will try to put something. And remember, at such a point, also politicians then come and jump over too. You find someone saying, I'm going to Chikubo to meet the traders, well knowing that it's going to be chaotic.
Right, now that makes a lot of sense. Let's have a
And
look at
remember,
what we...
police has the role to protect,
and preserve.
prevent, detect, and also prevent crime. So if it suspects things are going to be okay, it is within their mandate to prevent that from happening, because they will have detected criminal tendencies or crime to be committed.
Right, what local news are we looking at today?
Well, still issues of cattle compensation going wrong. Now, President Museveni has tasked leaders from the Acholi sub-region to form a committee of trusted people to aid the issue of cattle compensation. The committee has up to 1 month to audit paid and yet to be paid beneficiaries. President Museveni was meeting Acholi leaders over cattle compensation, where cases of corruption were reported. It was a meeting to resolve a serious matter of national concern, cattle compensation that has been mismanaged due to corruption and processes have been mishandled. The leaders described the process as harboring thieves. Other leaders were equally puzzled. President Museveni then ordered the committee to be established to oversee the audit process and guide government on the next direction. Acholi leaders, including ministers and members of parliament, welcomed the idea. As of what next, this will be known after 1 month. How far the idea of fronting a flat cattle rate for each household will go, as recently adopted in Teso sub-region, only time will tell. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, Dr. Diana Atwine, called for strict enforcement of road use regulations to curb raising road crashes that claim lives, cause injuries, waste time, and drain finances. She was speaking at the 2nd East African Symposium and Expo on Trauma, Injury, and Emergency Care at Makerere University School of Public Health in Kampala. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, Dr. Diana Atwine, blamed the rise in road clashes, drowning, snake bites, and other preventable accidents on impunity and indiscipline.
Don't take any chances, my brother. We need to immediately inform our peers in the club to be careful. You see, with Mpox, the magic is in getting treatment early. Those who have suffered severe disease, they wasted a lot of time either treating themselves or ignoring the disease.
Save your life. Seek treatment early. Only from professional health workers whenever you feel unwell. For more information
About Mpox,
call the Ministry of Health toll-free line on 0800 1066 or send a free free SMS to your report on 8500. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health Uganda
With support from UNICEF, WHO,
and its partners.
This August, East Africa becomes the center of African football. CHAN 2024 is here, and it's bigger than ever. 3 proud nations, Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, united by football, passion, and power. From the first whistle to the final roar, 35 thrilling matches, live, only on UBC TV and radio stations. Wherever you are in Uganda, from the city to the village, UBC brings CHAN 2024 to your screen and your radio. August 2nd to August 30th, it's football like never before. 1 tournament, 1 region, 1 heartbeat. CHAN 2024, live on UBC. Feel the game, live the glory.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Juko.
Yo.
What you go? Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better.
PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
My friend Baka was found to be positive for Mpox at his old age. He needs our prayers. By the way, Timo, did you know that Mpox-related deaths occur among people with underlying conditions like HIV/AIDS, diabetes, malnutrition, and other old age-related illnesses?
Of late, I've not been following Mpox issues. I thought it wasn't that serious. So, are you saying that as long as one has any underlying condition and feels unwell, just run to the hospital?
Yes! You do not have to wait. If you have any of the signs and symptoms like a body rash, a fever, headache, and body weakness, visit your nearest health facility immediately. We do not have to take any chances, my brother.
We need to immediately inform our peers in the club to be careful.
You see, with Mpox, the magic is in getting treatment early. Those who have suffered severe disease, they wasted a lot of time either treating themselves or ignoring the disease.
Save your life. Seek treatment early. Only from professional health workers whenever you feel unwell. For more information
About Mpox,
call the Ministry of Health toll-free line on 0800 1066 or send a free SMS to your report on 8500. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health Uganda
with support from UNICEF, WHO,
and its partners.
In a nation. Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV. If you started the show with us, thank you so much. If you've just woken up from last night's celebration, good morning. This is UBC TV. It's Good Morning Uganda. My name is Julie Nantaba Mosisi. I am with Robert Chirabo Nyonyintono. And in today's Real Conversation, we are catching up with the Wetereze campaign by UEDCL, and we are doing that over the phone with Jonan Kiza, who is the head of communications at UEDCL. Good morning, Jonan.
Good morning, my dear listeners. Good morning, colleagues on site. Thank you very much for the morning reach out. We send you greetings here from Uganda Electricity Distribution Company Limited and all our viewers of Good Morning Uganda.
Right, let's start off with just a brief introduction for anyone who might perhaps not be aware of what the campaign is about or not know even that the campaign is ongoing. What is the campaign?
Thank you very much. On 23rd of July 2025, we launched the Wetereze campaign. The campaign dubbed to really mean normalize your connection, and it was targeting people who are running with bypassed meters in their homes, those who are on direct supply, those who continue to enjoy electricity without paying it, those who had applied for meters and never got it in the old dispensation, and also those people who actually have meters which are bought undercover, meters of bills, really to be specific. And we are reaching out to these people to ensure that they normalize their connections in what we have dubbed as waiting. From the background, we came to realize that people continue to die in the different parts of the country as a result of trying to attempt to get electricity into their homes. We also come to realize that as many fires got out in Kampala and the many townships across the country, at least we realize about 40% there is a relationship between an illegal connection with some of these fire outbreaks. So really, in an attempt to try and address this kind of predicament, we decided to really open a window to ensure that Ugandans get clear ways of having clean energy in their homes. And that's how we came up with the idea of waiting, or what you may call normalize your connection. And so far so good. We are remaining with approximately about 33 days to go, but I want to tell you that the performance is extraordinarily impressive. Literally on a daily basis, we are receiving about 160 people who are coming out to normalize their connection. Remember, we have been saying this and we continue to emphasize that as you come out, really, this is something that won't be out in the media, that we are going to report Kirabo or report you for having normalized your connection. We are simply saying, come to us in the way you are, by simply hitting our website at www.udcl.co.ug/waiterize, fill the form, your name and your mobile contact number, and precisely what you're reporting to us. Is it a direct supply? Is it a faulty meter? Are you really having an illegal connection? I mean, we are having a different ranges of things that we want you to report. Even in the category of those people who are actually complaining that maybe I don't understand my meter, this could be a very excellent window for you to report the meter if you feel it does not give you the accurate measurement of what you think you're buying from the utility. So basically, that's a simple procedure. But for those who have never owned a meter in their life, those ones, we are taking them through the actual electricity connection process, where we require you to have wired your house using a certified era wireman, or what you call a power couple. And of course, that power couple must have an updated certificate with the regulatory authority. And of course, very important, you must have a national ID, a copy of it. You must also have documentation that's associated to the premise. If you are a landlord, of course, we will need an agreement, a copy of your agreement, or a land title. If you're a tenant, we would require you to furnish us with a tenancy agreement, because recall that this meter remains at the premise in case the tenant really chooses to leave. And of course, lastly, we require you to have a digital wireman certificate. A digital wireman certificate is that number which comes through to you when a certified wireman wires your house or wires your premises. They feed in a certain part, and the reference is given to you on your mobile phone. And of course, once you punch in that number which comes to your phone, the detail of whatever the wireman did on your premise will of course resurface, and then you officially put in a bid. There are no middlemen in this exercise, and for the normalization window, for those who have never owned a meter, you are only required to pay 30,000 Uganda shillings, which is of course broken down as 23,600 for what you may refer to as the surveyor's fee, and 6,400 which we give you in form of kilowatt hours when we have connected you the 10 kilowatt hours. All these fees are offset from your phone. You don't pay or give money to any of our staff, because we don't deal with cash for any services at our offices. So we want really to continue rallying our people out there that this campaign has a deadline. It started on 23rd of July, but we shall close it officially on 30th of September at 5 p.m. So whoever is still outside there and you have not normalized your connection, this is the most right time for you to normalize your connection. If you know you want to attempt to steal power, please don't do it tonight. Just move to our offices, tell them, I have come here to normalize my connection. Surely you'll have a meter by your doorstep. And we basically need to really reassure the public that this is a confidential campaign. We don't divulge any of the details of whoever comes out to normalize their connection. But interestingly, people are turning up in big numbers, and by today, if you realize that we have already hit 5,300, and our target was really an average of about 6,000 customers, I think it really indicates to us that there is a bigger problem out there that government surely has come out to solve. The issue of unmetered energy is a
Now,
very big problem.
Janan,
Yes, sir.
just to get you, you've raised quite a number of issues, and they're really very important. But now let's look at some of the challenges from your side. Now, rectifying a problem where we have issues of manpower. How staffed are you to carry out this rectification of these challenges? For example, if someone wants a meter, how long does that take? For example, you talked about the entire process of one being connected, what it entails, certified, is it where, whatever, and all those things. You see, sometimes why people go out of the way is the bureaucracy, the sluggishness, the prolonged time for them to have the right thing or the right connection.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kirao. I think let me begin with the process. Then I can end up with the manpower that we have available. The process is really very short compared to really what you may call a bureaucratic process. And the process is really to ensure both you and your premise and the occupant of your premise are safe. When we tell you to look out for a certified wireman, it is not really intended to inconvenience you or make you go through a long process, but it's to ensure that you get a quality service. Mr. Chirabo,
how available are the certified wiremen? How available, and what is their cost?
They are available, for example, ERA certifies, and they put them on the website of ERA. If you go on the website of ERA, and also our office notice boards across the country, we print that list that ERA gives us every year. And how expensive they are, to be honest, that's the service that we do not regulate as a utility. The service is really between you and the person offering you that service. Whatever your negotiation and the size of your premise really defines the scope of work. That is one. Important really to really re-emphasize. We have close to about 850 connections, new connection technicians who are already out there to first of all deal with the backlog that we inherited from Umeme. And I want also to report to you tonight that we have already hit a mark of about 73,000 new connections and above out of the backlog that we inherited from Umeme. Meaning that in the remaining days, as we add on these people who are coming to normalize, we shall have the new connection process shortened, because we are having a good number of technicians out there who are willing to respond and also ensure that you get the meter in the shortest time possible. Of course, the regulatory time is not exceeding 10 days, and we know it can be shortened depending on the number of personnel who are deployed in that arena. And that we have about 850, and we intend to add another 100, so that we clock 950. We want to believe that this process in the coming days is going to be very short for a person to have electricity in their homes.
Right, thank you so much. You are watching UBC TV, and in this particular time, we are having a conversation with Jonan Kiza, who is the head of communications at UEDCL, to find out the update on the Wetereze campaign, which is the grace period UEDCL has offered to anyone, any Ugandan, anyone who has illegal electricity connections, for you to go there, report yourself, and so that you are clarified and got onto the legal system of electricity. No one will arrest you. This is the grace period that is ending on the 30th of September. Now, Jonan, with the background you've given us, brought to the thought of whistleblowers. There are people who are operating on premises where their landlords are ideally illegally connected when it comes to electricity. And in case the campaign ends after 30th September, as you've said that you'll be moving from premise to premise to check the connection of each property, that means that the people who are at that property in that real moment are the very people who might be affected. So is there a way or a platform where whistleblowers are being welcomed to deal with this issue during this Wetereze campaign?
Thank you very much. It's still the same thing. If you can report a premise, the system right now can allow you to actually report a premise if you know very well that it doesn't have metered electricity. You can still report, and then you give. The form is really very detailed. It can allow for such kind of people to do a report, even if they are third parties. So we still some people who are reporting on behalf of those who cannot come visibly report to us. You know, repentance is a very, very, very tedious process. Of course, I know there is usually grace that one requires to come out broadly and they say, I have been doing wrong. Even those who are not able to really come out and face the system and tell them that we have not been acting right, we can encourage others to actually report those people they know on behalf of the system. If it is your neighbor, you can still report that neighbor. We shall graciously bring that meter. You will lead us to where that meter is, and we'll place it up. We're really not closed. But also, we know very well that the issues that we're talking about are the consequences for you not to normalize. I think Ugandans need to appreciate that stealing electricity is very expensive. If especially you are caught and you are handed over to the courts of law. If you look at the Electricity Act as amended 2022, Section 85 and Section 86, anyone who tampers with a meter and you are convicted, and of course, the possibility of you to get repercussions of that action is you sleep in jail for not less than 12 years, or you pay a 400 million fine, or even both. So why would you pay all that money? And most times, of course, you're talking about an average income in Uganda. So we are really trying to save people from the consequences of the law. And we want to really emphasize that this is really done in good spirit to ensure each one of us has metered energy. It is responsible of us to have metered energy. It's responsible for us to pay for the bill of electricity. Remember, all the entire segment of electricity, that is generation transmission, where we convert electrons into money, is at the distribution point. So we have responsibilities as a country to pay for the dams that we have borrowed money to establish. And if we steal energy, that means we are diverting government's focus for government to look for money from elsewhere when people are simply enjoying free power. So really it is the responsibility of us as Ugandans to have metered energy.
A question for you is, why are you turning against the very people that you're the very people that led them to this mess? Why am I saying so, Janan, here? Most of these, what you term as illegal connections, indeed they are illegal connections, but how best do you explain when a staff carries out these connections? And at times, people are not even aware that they're having illegal connections. I've seen, even with UEDCL taking on, I've seen people putting on your overalls, people really showing their stuff of UEDCL and carrying out these connections. Now, to an ordinary Ugandan, they will believe on a kola mu UEDCL. And they may think they're having the right connection. So what have you done to do in-house cleaning to avoid this? Some people are not as exposed as many are, and for them, once someone has that overall, someone comes and presents themselves, and someone says, I want to wire my house, and he says, I work there. So he wires the house, then he will assure you. People have meters, they are paying electricity bills, and the meters are not in their name. Now, no ordinary Ugandan can access a meter, Janan. So why are you turning against your own that you put in this mess?
Mr. Chirabu, thank you very much. Let's put the record straight. UEDCL staff are not supposed to wire houses. And that's the reason why the Electricity Regulatory Authority, in their wisdom, they left that exercise to people who probably are qualified and trained by error and satisfied to do that work. So we don't wire houses. That's number one. Number two, the connection process, and the reason why you have actually given us this opportunity to speak to Ugandans is to ensure that they go through the right procedures to get electricity. It is one of our biggest agendas to really engage the entire country for them to know the right procedure of getting electricity. The issue of staff indulging in illegal activities or supporting people to get illegal connection does not exonerate them from the law. If we get them in action and we get the evidence that they have participated in connecting people illegally, we shall of course follow the HR process and have them face that direction of the policy, but also we shall ensure that the law is invoked in line with the amended Electricity Act, because it does not exonerate them from their responsibility of connecting Ugandans illegally. And of course, two wrongs do not make a right. We want to encourage Ugandans to avoid and desist from every temptation, even staff of UEDCL to have electricity illegally connected on their homes. Why? Because the end user who is consuming energy will receive the hardest punch of the law. Most probably, some of these interactions are not even be visibly seen that actually they were supported by staff. But also, let's also emphasize on this. Ugandans have also become clever, Mr. Kirabo. We have seen even on TikTok people who are saying they are making UEDCL informed, and they are not even our service providers. And
Just a quick one, Janan. There's a question I don't want you to end without coming clear. A person has a meter. You get it?
Yes.
He's buying light, formerly known as Yaka. The meter is not in their name. They never manufacture meters. They're genuinely paying electricity, and UEDCL is getting this money. Now, you're telling them that is an illegal connection. How did they get the meter? How come the token that they're putting on this meter, they're getting electricity? Now, how do you blame such a person?
And Mr. Kirabo, because we appreciate there are so many dynamics that resulted in this kind of situation. You recall in around 2020 and 2021, we had a scarcity of meters during that age of COVID. Now, so many things happened, and we know very well that there could have been lapses because meters were really very scarce. So people tried to really act clever, both on the side of the utility and also the customers themselves. Much as it could also be true that the meters may not be in the customer's name, they could have acquired these meters from some other persons who are not necessarily from these utilities. But because of that kind of problem statement, it is the more we have opened up to say, Ugandans, kindly let us normalize our connections. Treat it easy. And we are targeting that person. If you are listening to us and you are watching UBC this morning and you know very well that meter is not in your name, we're not blaming you that you actually, we're not casting a stone on you this morning. But we are simply saying, normalize that connection, let that connection change from that person's name to your name responsibly without you incurring a cost. Because this is a free meter government of Uganda is giving to you at no charge. So really, I think there can never be a better offer that Ugandans can get from the government to them in respect of ensuring that each person who is consuming electricity consumes it responsibly, but also consumes it in their names as the consumers of those electrons. So I think, to be honest, I wouldn't justify the actions probably maybe of the past utility and the vices that happened. But I want to assure Ugandans that for us, we are a serious organization that if we get one of our staff or our staff in the wrong and have participated in this kind of vices, the process is very clear. We exit them as per the HR policy. But also, if the acts done are grave, we subject them to the due course of the law, because it is illegal to participate in some of these actions, especially for a person working in a utility. So really, it is a call to Ugandans. Let us know our rights, and we are not stopping the campaign of teaching you to know what you actually deserve from a utility. And we know in the coming days we shall have a better service out there from both the utility but also from you, the consumers. And we also continue to encourage you, Mr. Kirabo, much as you may really cast a stone on these people who are in the field putting on UEDCL uniform, but let us also tell the public to desist from giving money to the staff of these utilities. Why do you give them money for a service which is already paid for? They are paid to give you that service. So once you have a leveled background on your side, you as the consumer of energy, you are not bribing these people to do their work, and they are also not taking their bribe. But you also, even if they ask the money, you remind them that this is a service which you are paid for to do. It's really something that we can win. Corruption can't be won on one end of the coin. We need to join hands and we ensure that we clean this stuff. But also, when you report that a staff is indulging in an illegal, maybe in some form of bribery, let's come with evidence. Otherwise, we find a complication that you report that UEDCL staff are doing this and this, but you can't substantiate it. You can't give us evidence to enable us proceed with ensuring that staff faces an administrative procedure as per our HR policy.
Right. Thank you so much, Jonan. Now, a couple of comments are coming through for you as we begin to tackle the tail end of this conversation. But before we even engage, how are you dealing with any misinformation, any form of misinformation during this period?
Thank you very much. Of course, when we started this campaign on 23rd, we really blow it up on both social media platforms and radio stations and television stations to ensure that people have the last drop of information about this exercise. It is visibly available in all languages, and we're encouraging our staff in the different parts of the country to engage customers on a monthly basis to ensure that the information that they require to have their connections normalized is at their fingertips. That is what we are doing, and I am really grateful to the Uganda Broadcasting Corporation for ensuring that they give the necessary vibe to this government effort to, first of all, normalize people's connection, but also reduce the burden of the energy that is lost in form of people stealing it. The efforts that we are doing are going to yield, because we know even in so many communities, in the peak hours of the night, from 7 to 10, people are having instability, unreliable power because of people who are stealing energy. The load that you are adding there is beyond what we have planned for. So this exercise is also going to give us an opportunity to plan for the different load centers, the different townships, with adequate infrastructure like transformers, like the adequate sizes of conductors that are supposed to supply electrons to these areas to ensure that they enjoy quality power as per the grid code.
All right, now comments coming through for you as we begin to close this. Good morning. Power is trying to stabilize here in Kayunga, Mukono Kayunga Road. Thank you so much, UADCL. Please help us with your WhatsApp contact.
Okay. The WhatsApp contact official is 0772 285 285. You drop a message there, you'll be good to go. But we also have our toll-free line, 0800 20 30 88, 0800 285 285, and 0800 385 385. We are visible on all platforms, including TikTok, including X, LinkedIn, YouTube. Mention them all. We are there. And the reason we are there is to ensure that we tap on every segmented audience so that we give you the service you deserve.
Right. Thank you so much, John and Kiza, for joining us this morning to speak into the ongoing Wetereze campaign.
Appreciated, my sister, and thank you very much for giving me the audience to speak to the country on this campaign. Remember, it lasts on 30th of September 2025 at 5 p.m. We shall officially be closing it. Unless we are advised otherwise by our shareholder and minister, we will really be coming back to give you updates. But so far, so good. Let Ugandans normalize the elections, their connections, and let them enjoy the service of government. A meter costs close to about 800 plus Uganda shillings, and if government is giving it for free to you, for sure you have no reason why you should steal electricity this morning, or even attempt, or even have a thought when you see a power line. Instead of designing a plan of stealing power, let's normalize our connection.
Right. Thank you so much. Surely, indeed, Wetereze. And in case of any queries, I can see a couple of you are coming through with a lot of queries that we are unable to handle due to matters time, but he has read us the WhatsApp number 0772 285 285. Engage it, and I believe you will be helped. That's been it for the rail, and thank you so much for being on the show. Up next is GMU Tourism Express. Good morning, Uganda.
Live from UPC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
My friend Baka was found to be positive for Mpox at his old age. He needs our prayers. By the way, Timo, did you know that Mpox-related deaths occur among people with underlying conditions like HIV/AIDS, diabetes, malnutrition, and other old age-related illnesses?
Of late, I've not been following Mpox issues. I thought it wasn't that serious. So, are you saying that as long as one has any underlying condition and feels unwell, just run to the hospital?
Yes, you do do not have to wait. If you have any of the signs and symptoms like a body rash, a fever, headache, and body weakness, visit your nearest health facility immediately. We do not have to take any chances, my brother.
We need to immediately inform our peers in the club to be careful.
You see, with Mpox, the magic is in getting treatment early. Those who have suffered severe disease, they wasted a lot of time either treating themselves or ignoring the disease.
Save your life. Seek treatment early. Only from professional health workers whenever you feel unwell. For more information
About Mpox,
call a Ministry of Health toll-free line on 0800 1066 or send a free SMS to your report on 8500. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health Uganda
with support from UNICEF, WHO,
and its partners.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala, 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Live from UPC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Welcome back on the 3rd episode of Doorway Island. We're still taking you around, and it's just beauty, history, and nature that we've been talking about. Thank you for joining us. My name is Zakia Lucky, and welcome on the GMU Tourism Express. Now, previously, we took you through Kandege Stone, which had so much history and beauty you got to see for yourself. But right about now, I have no idea where we are seated, but Mr. Gabriel is still with us, and he will still tell us about this place.
Oh, yes, my name is Discharge Gabriel. I'm a conservator here at Dolwe Rock Art Site, and we have this particularly a kind of the art that was left behind with the element. These we call it other archaeologists call them the copules, others call them the rock hollows, others call them the carved hollows. And now we have a number of these copules on the island. By the way, the research says that this island, actually in the whole world, is one that has a number of the copules, the number of rocks with these copules. We have uncounted very many of them scattered all over the island. But now, the essence of this, or to bring visitors here to share with us the history of this here. How did they come up? Because when some people say them, they think they are natural, because they see the way they are, you know, carved on the rocks, they are smooth. But these copules, these were just made, engraved, dug with our ancestors, the element. And now, particularly in the work of these ones, one, it was for pounding the herbs. You know, they would get the roots and the other stem cutting, whatever. When they want to make a concoction, they come and then they pound from here. They also acted like the mortar today we have. They also use them in cleansing. When there is a calamity, after them pounding, they would put here, and then they also cleanse the community for such calamity that has attacked or come to the society. And they will also use them in the pounding, the foodstuffs. And even I personally, I experienced and did it. You know, we would get the rock, rather stone, and then we pound, we break it into the small or the finest. particle, we get the flour for the cooking. In most cases, the millet and then the cassava. We would also heat using a wooden, we call it a wari. We would make it, and then we heat the food stuff, the millet, the sorghum, and then the cassava, and then we get the flour. That is actually what is entailed for the values and actually their relevance of being on these rocks and how the element used. And also, normally in this island, as you said, it has a lot of history. That is what I always tell people, that there is what we call the spiritual inheritance. We have those things that our ancestors did, and then we find ourselves to do them without being trained or being taught. Just like you can raise up, and then they named you after someone, then they say that this person is just behaving like so and so in the community. But you haven't seen, you haven't trained you. Now, some of these things, we inherited them and began doing, but we didn't find these very people who did them to train us. However, it was a spiritual connection. That is why we say, like you, for us who are in the, to say in Uganda, we have, as we said, that the tour perhaps are the ones who would have made these things, but there is that connection of the choices, that religion of the communication, the spiritual being, that you would connect and communicate without visibly seeing someone. And also that is it. And a number of people have also gone ahead, do that. But as with the modernity, you know, it is trying to erase. But we are trying to tell our members, our children, not to forego the heritage, the culture, so that these things can move a generation to a generation.
You've heard it all, but this is still about Golofa, though we are yet to take you to where the name originates itself. But this particular one was about the couples, and I'm even told this is where they used to dine and eat together. You can see some are just a huge, all the others are small, and that is where they used to have food, and so many more, like he mentioned, pounding and getting flour from all of this. So stick with us as we take you to where the name Golofa originates. There's so much history up there itself, and I can't wait to get to learn about that as well. Stick with us.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV, and welcome back from GMU Tourism Express. As we have had earlier on the conversation on electricity, we are starting off with still another conversation on electricity. The Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development has unveiled a strategy of connecting people's houses on the national grid for free in Chiboga district. Now, while launching this electricity free connection exercise in Bukomero, the Minister Ruth Nankabirwa urged residents to shun illegal connections and venture into value addition projects. With the implementation of electricity access scaling up project, government targets to connect at least 1 million households on the national grid for free, basically in rural areas. The Minister of Energy and Mineral Development, Ruth Nankabirwa, and also launched this connections exercise in Chiboga district. Nankabirwa rallied residents to desist from illegal connections and utilize the voluntary window of Wetereze by UEDCL. Now, the Uganda Electricity Distribution Company Limited has dispatched and utilized the voluntary window and teams as well as materials to implement this project. Households will pay at least 23,000 Uganda shillings, basically for inspection before they are connected. Government initiated the rural electrification project to tally power consumption with electricity generation. Government acquired a World Bank loan of $638 million to distribute the connect electricity to connect 1 million households by 2027. Now, over 100 artisans will be trained to prepare them for the export market, targeting opportunities in the United States of America. The Embassy of the Republic of Uganda in Washington and the US-based facilitator Elaine Moore engaged key players in the sector at the National Theatre before the 18th to 23rd August in Kampala. The program will equip artisans producing African crafts and souvenir merchandise with practical skills in product development, finishing techniques, and market alignment. Now, looking at matters media and climate, as the world grapples with the intensifying impacts of climate change, the role of the media is driving both mitigation and adaptation efforts has never been more urgent or relevant. Experts and climate change activists agree to tackle the global crisis. The Global Carbon Project showed that global greenhouse gas emissions have reached over 37.4 billion tons of carbon dioxide as of 2024, calling for urgency of climate action. Breaking down complex scientific language and investing in continuous education and capacity building for media practitioners and strategies for raising awareness as well as transforming public attitudes. The multi-stakeholder workshop on the theme Amplifying Climate Change Voices seeks to bridge the persistent gap between the scientific community, policy makers, and the media. The planet Earth now squarely on the front lines of worsening, and that is in regards to climate crisis. And there is a growing consensus that everyone, everywhere must play an active role in climate mitigation and adaptation. Now, the effects of climate change are wide-ranging and deeply felt, and rising sea levels, extreme weather events, and the alarming loss of biodiversity are no longer future projections. They are current realities. Well, now let's have a look at what we have in the forex rates today. As of 18th August 2025, opening was 3,553.05 was the rate at which the dollar was buying and selling at 3,563.05, and by midday it was buying at an increased value of 3,553.68 and selling at 3,563.68, and closed in at an increased value indeed of 3,555.50 and selling at 3,565.50. It closed the British pound was buying at 4,821.61 and selling at 4,835.17, and the euro was buying at 4,162.06 and selling at 4,173.77. The Kenyan shilling was buying at 27.53 and selling at 27.60. The Tanzanian shilling dropped to 1.36 and selling at the same. And the South African rand was buying at 202.19 and selling at 202.75. And that marks it for what we have for GMU Business today. Up next is the agenda. Save the number 0709602592 to be a part of the conversation. Good morning.
UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the rider selection campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Pick of the day on UBC. Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby dondolo.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
This August, East Africa becomes the center of African football. Chan 2024 is here, and it's bigger than ever. 3 proud nations, Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, united by football, passion, and power. From the first whistle to the final roar, 35 thrilling matches, live, only on UBC TV and radio stations. Wherever you are in Uganda, from the city to the village, UBC brings Chan 2024 to your screen and your radio. August 2nd to August 30th, it's football like never before. 1 tournament, 1 region, 1 heartbeat. Chan 2024, live on UBC. Feel the game, live the glory.
My friend Baka was found to be positive for Mpox at his old age. He needs our prayers. By the way, Timo, did you know that Mpox-related deaths occur among people with underlying conditions like HIV/AIDS, diabetes, malnutrition, and other old age-related illnesses?
Of late, I've not been following Mpox issues. I thought it wasn't that serious. So, are you saying that as long as one has any underlying condition and feels unwell, just run to the hospital?
Yes! You do not have to wait. If you have any of the signs and symptoms like a body rash, a fever, headache, and body weakness, visit your nearest health facility immediately. We do not have to take any chances, my brother.
We need to immediately inform our peers in the club to be careful.
You see, with Mpox, the magic is in getting treatment early. Those who have suffered severe disease, they wasted a lot of time either treating themselves or ignoring the disease.
Save your life. Seek treatment early. Only from professional health workers whenever you feel unwell. For more information
about Mpox,
call a Ministry of Health toll-free line on 0800 1066 or send a free SMS to your report on 8500. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health Uganda
with support from UNICEF, WHO,
and its partners.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model, PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, it is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better.
PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV, always here to inspire you. If you started the show with us, thank you so much. And if you've just woken up from last night's excitement, you're welcome. This is Good Morning Uganda, and the TV station is UBC TV. Time for the agenda, where we get to engage in important conversations and with experts to speak into them. Now, today we are looking at educating Nyakijumba community and improving education in Kabale district through Rotary. And our guests today are Rashida Nasanga, who is the president, as well as Emmanuel Mukwenda Mugisa, who is the project coordinator. Now, if you are a part of the Rotaract Rotary family, 0709-602-592, or if you are interested in projects such as this and are interested in being a part of them, that is the WhatsApp number to engage and text in for your opinion or even question. You cannot call it, you can only text it. Once again, good morning and welcome to the show. My name is Julie Nantaba Musisi. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning, Julie.
Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you very much for having me today.
Good morning, Rashida.
Good morning, Julie.
Thank you so much for coming through.
You're welcome. Thank you too.
All right. I will start with you as the president for you to give us a brief background of this initiative.
Yes, please.
Right.
So Nyakijumba community, this is a community that we started visiting in 2016 to help them in the education sector. So we adopted this community back then, and we started off small through donating desks, renovating the existing classroom block. Of course, this, as a school in the rural areas, it was a bit dilapidated and they only had about 60 pupils. So we decided to empower them slowly by slowly, year by year. We started doing many activities to impact them, the communities, not only the pupils, but the parents, the other community members to empower them. So education-wise, that was the first bit, but also to empower the parents, the other community leaders, and everyone else through skills training. So it's basically through adopting this community, we're encompassing a lot of things. So it's not just education, but we also tackle the adults as well. So in general, it's a whole concept that we want to leave this community empowered to continue on for generations and generations, even after we have left this community.
Right.
Yes.
And just for clarity, many a times, I know I'm not the only one, and we did have a conversation just a bit about it behind the scenes, but many people get confused when it comes to Rotaract.
Yes,
this particular project, is it a Rotaract project or a Rotary project?
This is a Rotaract project.
Right.
We are youth aged 18 to 30 years. So this is an initiative that we took upon us. And you see, it has taken us all these years because these are small resources, but then it shows you the compounded effect of how much we've come.
Togetherness.
Yes, the togetherness. It's very little money that we have, but we are proud that we've been able to impact this community with the little that we have and all these initiatives, the fundraising events that we've had. So getting here, we are really proud of it, that we've changed this community.
Right.
Yes.
Let me come to you, Emmanuel. Paint the role of Rotaract and impact that has been since 2016 up to date on this particular project.
Thank you very much, Julie. The role or the impact that Rotaract has made for the past 10 years is one, the pupils that we have been able to recruit or have been recruited within the school, because right now, by the time we got into the community, we had we found a block that was already dilapidated, and we tried to fix it. But then we came up with even a much better concept of constructing a 4-5 classroom block, but one of the rooms was now designated to the staff. So this alone impacted in growth of numbers of the pupils from 60 numbers that she mentioned. Right now the school can hold over 250 pupils. That alone is showing that there is a bit of transformation within the school. But then as Rotaract, how we are continuously impacting is through leveraging partnerships with international partners, because right now the school is not where we want it to be. But then through our linkages as Rotaract and Rotary International at large, we make sure that we keep on leveraging these partnerships to be able to conceptualize and have these the different concepts implemented for us to be able to have the concept of Rotary brought together within this community. Thank you.
Right. And I will stay with you as the project's coordinator. Why in particular did you choose this Nyachijumba community in Kabale? Why did you zero down to that particular one?
Okay, initially when the whole concept was being built up, we looked at we tried to look at one of the communities where we could be able to leverage, one, sustainability, but two, also the need of the community itself. So those are the two aspects that we looked at for us to be able to identify. And one of the sustainability points of the view is the clubs that you collaborate with within the districts. Do you have a relationship with them? So we also looked at this, and the clubs that we had within Kabale region, we had a good relationship with them. And then also from our you know, in Rotary there is Rotaract and Rotary.
Yes.
So our Rotary Club already had projects that were running within Kabale, so it was easy for us to catch up and get to know what the community actually needs through our parents who are in Rotary. So that's how we zeroed down to a school, through the needs assessments that we made and through the feasibility studies and the sustainability concepts that we came up with to be able to reach out to this particular school.
All right. Yeah. 0709602592 is the WhatsApp number that you should engage and be a part of this conversation. We are looking at educating Nyachijumba community, and that is really improving education in Kabale district through Rotaract in particular. Coming to the president, and that is Rashida Nasuna. What partnerships, or are there partnerships that you have garnered along the way to work on this project over the last 9 years?
Yes, we've had so many partnerships actually, and we are very happy and grateful for all the other clubs that have come on board to support us.
Right.
From Rotary clubs, Rotaract clubs, even international clubs. There was a year that we had Rotary clubs from Canada. They joined us, and USA. They joined us on this project. They actually went hands-on to help us construct this building, the classroom block. They supported financially. So this is all support that we've got through partnerships. And I can't even give the list. I can't finish it because there have been so many clubs. Even community leaders have supported us. The district, everything. We had so many partners.
Right.
Yes.
Emmanuel, what impact have you received from the community? What have you seen with in your own witnessing the community tell a story from this particular project?
One, it starts from the parents themselves that bring those children to be enrolled in the school. One of the impacts that we looked at is the socio-economic impact around the community, because for us to be able to make sure that this project is sustainable, the parents should be able to pay at least a certain fee for these children. So we have seen that over the years, as we're empowering these women or the gents into urban gardening, into making of books, things that they can be able to get money from, so that they convert that money into school fees. So we have seen that some of the women have actually grown their businesses to supplying actually the school itself with certain stationery, supplying the schools with snacks for the kids to eat. So that alone shows that there is a bit of a socio-economic impact within the community. The community appreciates the project and they bring the children, and at the end of the day, the project still gives back to the parents. So that is an impact that I have seen, but we are not yet there. Right. We are keeping on building, because right now we are going into another stage, but then when we hand over this block, we will have women being empowered in terms of agriculture, giving them seed, because now we are looking at an aspect of the children reaching a point where they are not having enough food for lunch. So if we empower the families to plant more food, that they can distribute a certain portion to the school to be able to keep the school running, that alone will also help the school run, but also empower the women or the families at the community level. Just a point in case, if we are to supply, let's say, 10 kilograms of maize to a particular family A, and then they plant it on 1 acre of land, this will produce at the end of the season maybe 9 to 10 bags. If one bag is given back to the school will benefit 100 kgs, and the parents will remain with 900 kgs. That 900 can be sold roughly, today maybe maize is 1,000. That is approximately 900,000 that is being made by just one family. And that money can be sent back to the school, approximately 150,000. The family remains with some. So there is a bit of improvement in livelihood, there's a bit of educating the child, and there's a bit of making sure that there's proper nutrition within the school.
Right.
Thank you.
Rashida, I've heard Emmanuel use the word handover.
Yes.
Does that mean that at a certain point, there's a period where this project is going to be handed over fully to the running of the community in itself without the Rotaract community?
Yes, please. That time will come.
Right.
For now, we've been taking baby steps. And this is the biggest that we've had, the classroom block. So this is, before previously, the classroom block that they had only catered for P1 to P3 pupils. Now that we have a bigger classroom block, they'll be able to have from P1 to P7. So the less dropouts you get. So after that, we will now look at water and sanitation. That's also still a challenge that they have. Solar energy, IT, because now we're in a digital era. So, but eventually we'll keep on living, pulling out. But right now, they're able to sustain themselves where they are. So it's not, we don't have to be involved so much.
Right.
And we know at some point we'll have to leave entirely.
And now that you talk about sustainability, it's still, you know, one can't help but think about sustainability. What sustainability programs are you planting as you're pulling out gradually? What sustainability plans are you planting to help this project continue for years and years?
So this comes back to empowering the families, like Emmanuel has said.
Right.
We are training the women, the community members, to actually make the money, so we don't have to always donate to them. We are teaching them, we are teaching the pupils. They have dreams now, like after P7, they'll be able to continue on. They'll have other skills that they'll bring back to the community. And then overall, in general, after some years, the community is empowered and will have to live. So instead of donating all the time, we're donating books, so that yes, we can do that, but then we teach them.
Right.
Yes. So this, in other words, they can teach the next generation and the next generation. They're able to earn income, and that's enough in sustainability. And then maybe another thing I can point out is the reusable sanitary towels. They've helped to keep the children in schools, you know. And then when we teach them, we use the local materials that they can access. So it's not in any way affecting them financially, but at the same time, they can also make them themselves and sell them.
Right.
So that's enough sustainability. They're able to make these things themselves now, sell them, and go to the community.
Right. Yeah. Coming to you, Emma, and still staying on the issue of sustainability, you've pointed out how women are being empowered here and there. And from this initiative, when I think about the community, it involves the teachers, it involves the learners, it involves the parents. Now, what are there ways you are empowering the learners themselves, so that it's not just the parents being empowered, but also the learners as well as the teachers? Which ways have you empowered the teachers? Which ways have you empowered the learners?
Okay, thank you very much, Julie. How we have empowered the learners and the teachers is in a way of providing with them materials that are used to train them. So, for example, the teachers are provided with teacher guides from Ministry of Education, and these we buy and we donate to them for them to be able to appreciate the syllabuses. And you know, the syllabuses keep on recurring, but then they might recur in Kampala, but then by the time they clock and get to Kabale, it might take, like, let's say 6 months for the pupils to actually adhere to the syllabus. But then when we go there on a yearly basis, we go with a new curriculum in case there is any. We go with teacher material that they can use to be able to teach these pupils. Then the pupils themselves, for sustainability, what we're actually looking out for is for their literacy levels to grow. So we mainly look at reading material, providing books, giving them scholastic materials, so that they are not very much in need at that particular point. Because one thing for a fact is, when a pupil sits down and they have a book and pen and they have some reading material, it gives them that comfort to pay attention in class. So this alone is a point of sustainability. These books are there and they're static for us at some point. How we are going to step aside is to make sure that we bridge even closer to the district education officers, but also to the ministry, to ensure that even when we are stepping aside, the district is still even creating a much bigger bond, so that these materials keep coming through on time for the pupils to be able to get the literacy that they deserve, but then also the teachers to get the training that they actually need for them to translate that energy to the pupils.
Right. Now that you've talked about involving the district, sometimes the consistency in projects, especially big projects and impacting projects such as this particular one, gets hard without an independent body looking at it and looking through it. Just in case the time comes, and the time has come for Rotaract to now leave, how best do you think you're leaving this project with the district involved, but for consistency, with quality, with empowerment, as opposed to the whole situation dilapidating and coming to the end?
Okay. First, the dilapidation won't be an issue in terms of the blocks. The blocks will remain standing because the school is already constructed. However, the beauty about our concept and what we do in Rotary and Rotaract is, even when we leave, we do not leave for good. We always have a hosting club that we assign to the role to look or oversee what is actually happening within that school. Because even when we leave, we expect that there might be a few challenges that we can address even without calling off a very big project. So this is one of the points that we actually look out for. For example, we have a partnering club that we mainly work with when we go to Kabale, Rotaract Kabale University. So those people are already situated within the area, and they can actually be able to give us real-time information that we need about the school. Even when we leave, the project will have gone to completion, but then our sort of like commitment is not like phased out. So anytime we can always come in.
Right.
Yep.
Good morning, Julie, and the guests in studio. It's Isaac Wanzala Aizo watching from West Nile. How to join that project? How can I join that project, and can it be extended to other parts of Uganda? Let me forward that to you, Rashida.
How they can join? They can contact us. We do have a website. We have our social media pages, Rotaract Kampala South, in case of donations. And also we have our project coming up this weekend. We shall be traveling to Kabale to officially hand over the classroom block that we've been constructing for the past 5 years or so. And after this community, we'll be moving on to another community. And that will be chosen after a needs assessment.
Right.
So yes, if they do have a community in mind that they would like us to visit, they're willing to invite us. We can check it out, do a needs assessment, and we see what we can offer that community as well.
Right.
Yes.
0709602592 is the WhatsApp number that you engage and be a part of this conversation. In studio with me is Rashida Nasuna, who is the president, and Emmanuel Mukwenda Mugisa, who is the project coordinator. We are looking at educating Nyakijumba community and improving education in Kabale district through Rotaract, the Rotaract community. In fact, allow me ask, I need a clear picture. We didn't get into the depths of it. I'll forward it to you, Rashida. Yes, what was the state of Nyakijumba before this project began? We did give a hint on it, you know, but I wonder how bad was it?
It was really bad. We even have photos right now. We've been sharing them on social media.
Right.
When you look back, I think the first time we visited the community, I just joined the club. And the school, it was the structure that was there. I think it had like either 3 or 4 rooms. They didn't have like windows, no doors. The floor was just of mud and dust. Basically, it was just brick, a structure of bricks. It wasn't plastered, not painted, and this is where
it had no mortar.
Nothing. So just maybe a roof, and just where students the pupils can come and learn.
Right.
And it wasn't suitable for people. These are young children. You get, so that's how we started. We say with trying to renovate, at least plaster, give them desks to sit on. You get, and then from there we kept on adding more and more and more. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the good work. Thank you so much for being a part of a great cause in our nation, Uganda. Now, this conversation is coming to the end, but let me come to you, Emmanuel. How best can other stakeholders be a part of this particular project that even when Rotaract has left to another community, there's still more stakeholders during it and fueling it?
Thank you very much, Julie. That is a very, very good question. I truly appreciate that. The stakeholders, I know that the main stakeholder in this is the Ministry of Education and Sports, but I also know it trickles down and goes up to the government of Uganda. And one thing for a fact that I know that the government has systems in place, and the ministry also has systems in place, and the school is recognized. One of my pleas and one of my calls is Nyakijumba Primary School. We saw it from dust, and right now we have been able to bring these classroom blocks up and standing. But then these are just not only blocks, but then they house our next generation of people. So the first stakeholders that I really would like to even put much emphasis around this community is the ministry and the government of Uganda, because without them, the school itself wouldn't have been written in paper for it to start being existent.
Right.
So that is one of the stakeholders, and how I would want them to come in play, and they already are doing a tremendous work, is to engage more with the teachers being trained, because the teachers have to pass on this knowledge, and I know that we have had a switch in curriculum. There's a lot that is going on in making sure that the pupils go into the bit of skilling. So if the ministry can enable the teachers to have the proper materials for them to translate this knowledge back to the pupils, it will help in the literacy and also make our generation much better. And then the other stakeholders that we can call upon are different NGOs. I know, yes, we are an NGO as a Rotary International, but then we are on the bit of a charity. So there are those NGOs which have particular projects that are aligned to education and literacy. So we call upon them. We can have a community needs assessment with them, and then we align our project with their work plans for us to be able to leverage and meet all the needs for the community. But then there is also different companies. Companies have CSR budgets that they can run to assist the school, because right now we are handing over just a classroom block, but then we have even a much bigger concept for us to be able to even grow the numbers much better. With the numbers that have grown, we have actually experienced a bit of problems within sanitation, where you find that the number of pupils that have increased, the toilets are now not enough. So that is also another issue that we can also tackle in the next years with different CSR partners and different companies. So that is the way that I would hope that we can actually leverage and partner with different stakeholders. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much. That is Emmanuel Mukwenda Mugisa, who is the project coordinator of this particular project, educating Nyachijumba and improving education in Kabale district through Rotaract. Rashida Nasanga is the president, and I would love to have your parting shots.
Thank you so much, Julie, for having us today. And we are so happy as a club to be able to hand over this classroom block. It's been a long time coming. It hasn't been easy. And we call upon other people to join us, to partner with us, because these are things we do for the community that from the bottom of our hearts. So we are very happy, and we hope that many people can join us and partner with us on so many other projects that we have to make a difference in our communities.
Right. Yes. Thank you both for coming through, and thank you for that great work. I believe the Nyachijumba community in Kabale will never indeed forget, but there are many generations being impacted. For every child that is sitting in any of those classrooms and being educated to the next level of their education, that is a seed sown. So thank you very, very much. Welcome. And that's it for today's agenda. We do have Ruben coming in with GMU Sports. He has a lot to talk about. Not so sure what exactly in particular he will be pointing out, as is Uganda qualified for the quarterfinals in the CHAN 2024 tournament. But stick around for that exciting analysis from him. For now, good morning. Let us do this again tomorrow. And Robert Chirabo Nyonyintono will be coming through with GMU Extra. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Our program of poverty eradication is a must. We want everybody to be involved.
Through the parish development model, Ugandans are starting small but impactful projects to improve their livelihoods.
When we give 1 million, we know it's not enough to do many things, but it's a starting point.
I'm a PDM beneficiary, a farmer. Your Excellency, I was given 1 million.